Yes, I have done some things, and I should have done even more things about that, which we can only realize after coming in here, because the department is interdisciplinary and department requires a lot of quiet knowledge in different fields. Like I've never concentrated on MATLAB till I came here because I thought that was not necessary. But the bioengineering program runs on MATLAB because coding is been into bioengineering for a lot of time. So you might also need Python or mathematical modeling depending on what kind of research you might pursue, and having prior MATLAB experience and SolidWorks for designing medical devices is also required. So I would suggest students who want to pursue bioengineering to look into their jobs that are in their field, and see what they really want, and what kind of knowledge they want in their in the job position, and try themselves to use that time before coming into the US to prepare on that, so that straight away after getting into US you can only master those skills to a different extent rather than starting at a whole new level.
I would just say that you should brush up on the chemical engineering like subjects like transport or kinetic. Well, I wouldn't say that's required, but it's okay if you can brush up on them a bit before you come here. For master's students, I think the TA would be like a volunteer TA position. It is generally not paid because PhD students are required to TA compulsorily. That is a compulsion for them. So that's why most of the TAs that we have are PhD students. But RA, it depends on the funding opportunities. So once you join a lab and you're invested in your research, the advisor will will supervise how you're working. And if the advisor has a funding available for his project, then he would supervise your work initially. But if he feels you're a good fit, he would start paying you for that position. So you will be an RA and you'll get paid for that. Only thesis students would get RA opportunities because you have to be working in lab setting with the professor, so that the professor would want to entrust you with a project, and if that's a funded project, he would want to pay you for working on it. RA usually ranges from between $15 to $20 per hour. So you would make about, even if you take it's 15, in that sense you would make about $300 per week. But then you have to include the taxes as well. So that would be about $250-ish per week. Per month it would amount up to about $1,000, and that is enough to cover your living expenses and all the other expenses. So for me, my on-campus job is I work as a residential proctor for those positions, and the other on-campus positions which are not TA and RA, the other positions like the ones in the library, then you have in the gym and the physical centers, and you have as event management rep. So all those positions pay you about $11 or $12 per hour. You can work 20 hours a week. Even with those jobs, I think you can manage your living and food expenses per month. I would say you need to be here if you want to apply for RA. And generally, none of the professors would, just let you come here and give you the RA position just like that. They would definitely want to at least look at your work for one semester or half a semester and see how much involved you are in their project and how much you're contributing to their project. And depending on that, they would offer you the RA position.
Coming to the bioengineering department, the department is quite new, and the classes will be consisting of mostly 25 to 30 students, I guess. So the professor would prefer conducting by himself, so he doesn't require a TA mostly, unless there are 150 people like in the computer science department. So the TA opportunities are essentially limited to the people who are working in their lab. So a professor will prefer the person who he knows and who is working in the lab to correct his papers rather than finding another person. So he will not post such kind of opportunity. So mostly the TA opportunities are limited to the people who are working in his lab. And coming to the RA, you need to work in a professor's lab for at least a couple of months before he gets to know you, and he also needs to have a funding so that he can spare that amount for your RA research assistant position. So you can't apply for those things from home country, yeah, like you can mail them, but the professors wouldn't reply you because unless they know you and what amount of things you know, they would prefer not to discuss such things with you. So you need to be here and work in a professor's lab before you can ask him about for an opportunity for surviving, for covering your living expenses. Scholarship opportunities are available for international students. So it's just not for international students. It's just for every student that is attending Northeastern University. So it's not specific to an international student. So you need most of these fundings usually go for PhDs, and because PhDs are supposed to be fully funded for doing their research, they need to have a scholarship for sure. But for master student, yeah, they're limited.